So here's my little marching snare 101 tutorial. First things first, you have sticks. I taught you how to hold a stick. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Thumb and pointer. Wrap your fingers around. This gap should be closed. You want to hold it mostly from here, but we can get into that later. Then left hand. Almost like you're holding a coffee mug, making sure that you have that resting on your fingernail and not on your finger. We don't want to be looking like this. We want to be looking like this. Okay, and depending on how small or big your hands are, is where your thumb will rest. You just want to be able to, since your hands are a little smaller, it'll probably rest more like this. Just whatever is comfortable. I rest about where my first knuckle is. But see if you can make contact between that. Okay. Now, drums. Okay. When we throw a stick at it, it naturally wants to come back up, right? Like if I just, right? It just automatically wants to come back up. So we want to use that to our advantage. So, when we play an exercise like 8 on a hand, we like to start up at the top, and we use what is called a full stroke, where your stick should return back to where it started, right? So that's, and we can use the bounce that is demonstrated from this, right, in order to help make that with less effort. So, main key points here, okay? Mostly wrist. We're going to throw it at the drum. Then we're going to receive it with our wrist as well and let it come back up. It's almost like something that you can do is you can bounce a basketball. I actually have one because I do this a lot. Or a tennis ball. I just get on the floor, bounce the basketball. You can see how my hand comes back up to receive the ball, right? And it stays with it. So you want to do that same thing, same wrist motion. Throwing, I say throwing with the wrist, and then letting the stick come back up. And then obviously, we have our rotational points, okay? You're going to want to rotate with your front knuckle. And then I like to think of it as almost taking this and flicking it down. And then you can really just tell if you're doing it right, if your sticks are going straight up and down or not. Using a mirror and going sideways is really helpful. Yeah. And then something that you can do to help with your rotation is to stay up and then pretend like you're knocking on a door with your right hand. And then, I don't even know, just like resting on your pinky and then just knocking sideways with your left hand. And always making sure that you come back to this upright position and doing those full strokes where your hand starts and ends in the same spot. And also making sure that you move as fast as possible. One of the analogies we use is we pretend that this is a hot stove, and you don't want to leave your hand on the hot stove or you're going to get burnt. You want it just right there and then right off. So that's just something you can work on, and that's my little crash course for today.